Andersen.
Alright guys, if you saw the last video on removing the valve covers from the Mars Red C55, this is your part 2. We're getting them cleaned up with Mike right now. We are scraping away at these. We knew there was some corrosion on them, like the old breather cover. That's pretty nasty stuff. Like we talked about, the magnesium alloy they use on these, it just kind of happens, which is why it's really important to get them scrubbed up and put some type of protective layer on them paint wise. So we just discovered another bad spot. Mike just noticed on this one, this is the driver's side. There's a big like split basically in the casting, and that's just, I don't know, from time and oil and other stuff. So I'm gonna try to grind that down and epoxy it, because obviously that's the whole valve cover. I don't have a spare one right now, so get these cleaned up and try to epoxy that. For the most part, hopefully the rest of it, or the rest of them, are in good condition. There's just a little bit of spots over here I can grind real quick before I paint. Reseal everything and we should be okay. But yeah, if you have these old M113s, old M112s, anything from that era that's using the magnesium alloy covers, definitely want to take a close look at them and see if you got any bad pitting or splitting or corrosion starting to happen. So you can definitely protect it if you get them off and clean them and paint them. So we are gonna go with the aluminum blast. You guys were voting between the wrinkle black, the red, or the aluminum blast. I'm gonna do this big portion for time's sake, and just also it's clean, goes with everything. So I'll get these cleaned up, put the aluminum blast on it, probably heat gun them after to get it to dry fast, because we're actually trying to get this done to proceed with our manual swap, which is another video series you can go check out. But yeah, I'll update you guys as we make progress on these. Alright guys, just got done cleaning them up. More cleaning up going on. This is our station over here. Just pressure washing, and had some Simple Green and Purple Power in that one. And then this is LA's Total Awesome degreaser. So just combo those, a lot of scrubbing and spraying off with the pressure washer. So now we're on to the next step. Drying them off, get them all the way clean, and then gonna throw in a coat of aluminum blast. Alright guys, back at the washing machine workstation. We are finishing up. I just got this one sealed down. What I like to do is, I don't know, kind of unavoidable, just goop it on, get it in all the channels, and then after I put it on, then I'll wipe it down to get all the excess off, just to make it look a little cleaner, and then I'll paint them. Life hack as well, don't reuse Allen head bolts, or not, I don't know if they're Torx or Allen head bolts, but they're aluminum. They're a one-time use bolt, and if you try to reuse them, chances are you'll snap them in half. I've done it before, so I just keep these stainless bolts on hand. Use them for all kinds of stuff. Mercedes-wise, I use that same size bolt for a lot of different things, so that way you don't worry about snapping them. Just don't tighten them too tight. I just use a regular Allen key and just tighten them by hand. You'll feel when they bottom out. So I'm just putting the silicone onto this one, seal it up, and then we can hit it with our aluminum blast. Alright guys, second one is ready to go on. By the way, I'm using Permatex Right Stuff. It's like the 90-minute cure one. Gray, black, whatever you got, it doesn't matter, but you can use other stuff. That's just what I use because it's quick drying and I like it. It's a little bit thicker formula. So I'm gonna get this one on. I epoxied our other one right here, so I kind of repaired that little gouge, filed it down, and filled it with a good amount of epoxy there. So this should be good to go. Let's go ahead and set our other breather cover onto here. Alright, like I said guys, did not need to go crazy with these because they're not really doing much at all anyways. They're just basically holding this in place for the silicone to cure. There it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe off all this excess, make it look nice. Alright guys, we've got 2 sealed valve covers, good to go, ready for paint. Big thank you to Mike for helping me scrub these things down. Basically cut the time in half because we had 2 people going at it. Basically 1 per person, so it was nice to have an extra set of hands there. I'm going to put these somewhere here. I even thought about maybe taking them to work tomorrow and just doing them in the shop to avoid any paint spray mess, and they'll dry a lot faster over there too because they'll be inside a warm workroom versus out here in the garage. So I guess I'll check back with you guys in a bit once I decide on what's the best game plan for this. Alright guys, I'm going to do a little test blast on these, just a light coat just to see how much spray is going to go everywhere, and then I'll decide what I'm doing next, I guess. Alright guys, brand new valve covers. Just kidding. First coat's on. Looks good. Lesson learned with the Alumiblast, by the way guys. Don't use any type of primer or anything. Just scuff up the metal a little bit and spray it. It goes on way nicer. I tried to use the epoxy primer last time and shoot the Alumiblast over it, and it came up with like all these weird marks on it and like weird grainy texture, and just wasn't good. Some of the spots you see here that look a little funny are where we filed down a bit, so those spots I probably could have used like a etching primer or something, but I mean you're never going to notice it when it's in the engine bay, and like I said, we're running the stock air boxes anyways, so this didn't overspray like crazy at all. Some paints carry, epoxy paints carry really far. The Alumiblast, I think because it has the metal particles, it's pretty heavy, so it just kind of sits wherever you shoot it. So nice and clean. Got the space heater by it. I'm gonna close up the garage just to get it a little toasty in here and see how long this first coat takes to flash. Alright guys, we're back with the valve covers. It's been probably 4 to 6 hours now. First coat is all dry. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a second coat. I think that should be good, to be honest. Hopefully we'll get a little more coverage on our spots we sanded down over here and try to cover up some of that. Looks like paint separation just from the aerosol can on that spot. But I mean, these are super clean guys. Nobody's ever going to know, or not even know. It's just, they're going to look better than what was there for sure. So let me get it one more coat on there. We should be good. Alright guys, second coat is on. Got a little more coverage, which is nice on those spots, and covered up that separation, which is awesome. So now we should be good. Totally happy with 2 coats. Alright guys, we are back. These things are nice and dry, and it turned out phenomenal. I really wish, because I did the same Alumiblast on the CLK, and like I said, I tried to do a primer beforehand and it just did not turn out good, but this turned out so good. Super smooth, and you can tell it made a really good adhesion onto the metal. So stoked on how those turned out. Really happy I went with the silver. Just a basic clean look that's never going to get old. So those are good. What I'm going to do now is I just want to see what spark plugs are in it. I don't know if I'm going to do all of them. I guess it depends on what I pull out and what it looks like. So I'm going to pull out the first couple and I'll show you guys what I find. Alright you guys, got a 16. Just pulled the plug off, or the wire off, so we'll go ahead and pull the plug out. Yeah, I'm gonna say we need plugs, guys. Sheesh. Alright, well, they're not terrible. They're just pretty oil soaked and a bit rich. I can check the gap on them real quick. Hold on. Alright, so these are the factory, or one of the factory options. The FR7 KPP33U Bosch double platinum plugs. They either come with these most of the time, or NGK was also a possibility from factory. I think my car, I think I had these same plugs actually when I pulled them off my silver car. These are still at about the correct gap, just about 40. Oh, actually that's 44. So yeah, just about 40 thousandths right there. So that is pretty good, I guess. Let me pull another one, see what they look like. If it looks the same as this, then might as well just pull them all out and put some fresh plugs in it. Oh man. Alright guys, yeah, we're gonna throw a set of plugs in it. These are, I mean, the valve covers were leaking so bad. There's so much oil down in the cylinders that it's just not worth putting these back. And look how oily that thing is, man. So yeah, the valve covers, I'm pretty sure somebody tried to use silicone on the valve covers and that's why they're leaking so bad. So I'm gonna throw in, I might even have a set of plugs, to be honest. I'll double check what I have laying around. Typically I just use nickel alloy plugs on these. I don't go for the, you know, double platinums or iridiums or anything like that, just because the cars tend to like that kind of hotter spark of the nickel copper style plugs, and they're way more cost effective. You can get a set of 16 of the nickel alloy plugs for like, you know, 30, 40, 50 bucks, whereas a set of these is like $100. A set of iridiums is, you know, 150 bucks maybe or more, depending on which ones you go with. So for the lifespan, you can get, you know, 3 or 4 sets of the nickel alloys and still be less money than some of the more expensive, you know, double platinum or iridium plugs. So that's just my way of doing things and my style I like to do. So let's see what I got laying around. All right, you guys, this is why I always hang on to parts. Okay, right here we got one option. This is actually the same exact plug, the Bosch double platinums, that I only ran in my silver C55 for probably, I don't even know, like less than 30,000 miles, I would say. So I could just swap these in. They're definitely still good. But I have a brand new set of NGK BKR 5ES-11. Ideally, you'd want to run the BKR 6, but one step hotter is not going to hurt anything. And matter of fact, it might honestly help. So we're going to do those. And these will just hang around, I guess, for another project. But these are all brand new. I did use one for a test in the C230 coupe, but it's all good. It got ran for maybe 5 seconds. So clean that off, and the rest of them are all brand new. So I'm going to go ahead and just call it a decision made. Let's throw in some plugs. There's no point in not doing it. After seeing those first two, and having the valve covers off makes it that much easier. So let's get this done. Alright guys, and I'm just going to go ahead and knock these out. I don't even think it's worth like getting in here showing you guys in depth filming. We've done spark plugs so many times. But if you need any tips, basically just get yourself a bunch of different, you know, swivels and sockets of different lengths. You need some really short ones, some stubby ones for the back corners especially on the driver's side. But besides that, I mean, it's just spark plugs, nothing crazy. There's just a lot of them, 16. So yeah, do your due diligence, take your time. Once you get them all out, I'm going to try to get things cleaned up because obviously there's been oil gooping down for a while. So I'm going to try to get the wires cleaned up on the ends here and just overall clean up down here. And once we get those, then it'll be nice because we can pop the valve covers back on, and that is all finito. And then we can move on to our intake manifold, which is going to be in a different video, but I just feel like I got to do it. I just can't ignore it, guys. It's just like staring at me in front of my face, and it would be silly for me to not take the manifold off, redo the injectors, redo the manifold while this is down. I'm not in a rush to complete the manual swap. We got everything for it. So I'm not in a rush. I want to really take my time, reseal everything, make everything pretty and nice and new as much as I can, and go for it. So anyways, I'm gonna knock these spark plugs out. I'll let you guys jam to some music and just look from the background. guys. Alright, I gotta bring you in for a closer look because it is just nasty in there, guys. Look how bad these boots are on here. Just absolutely caked in oil. So anyways, I am just laying them out. Sometimes I leave them in there while I do spark plugs. Sometimes I don't. This time I am, just because everything is so dirty. Like, getting the exhaust manifolds, I really got to clean while I'm in here, guys. So I'm gonna get those out of the way. I'm gonna spray these off with electronics cleaner and just get everything clean because it is nasty. So anyways, let's keep going, chugging away. All of our spark plugs are out. Got all 8 sitting right there. Let me grab a light. By far the most oily plugs I've ever seen. Nasty stuff, but anyways. This is also by far the easiest spark plug I've ever done, or spark plug job I've ever done on the M113, because the car is actually my height right now. The valve covers are off, and because the transmission is off, the engine is also tilted forward a little bit. So this is beautiful. I could do this all day. So really glad to be doing this right now when it's easy. It's not like super difficult normally, but still it's a bit of a cramped style doing it on the ground. And if you got the valve covers on, then it makes it that much more difficult. So yeah, I've done these so many times now. I'm getting pretty good at it. But anyways, I'm gonna try to get these cleaned up, spray as much, contact cleaner and whatnot as I can, and clean out the cylinders a little bit with some fresh rags. And then I'll go ahead and throw in our fresh NGKs. I do not use any type of anti-seize or anything on the threads. Some people do so. Mercedes does not tell you to do that, and they don't recommend it. Some people still do it. It's up to you, but I've never had a spark plug come out rusty in a good working engine. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way. No anti-seize on the threads, and they don't get torqued down very tight. I want to say something like I'll have to look up again. 20 Newton meters, if that, like 18 Newton meters. I can't remember. I'll pop it up on screen. But only thing I do use is dielectric grease. Not heavily, but a good amount on the boots, on the boot ends where they connect onto the spark plugs, because it makes it really easy to get them to lock on and pop off. So yeah, also weird. See how 2 of these, there's like fresh silver, and the rest of these are all brown. Kind of weird, but all right, let's keep moving on and finish up this side. All right, guys, I got things cleaned out as they need to be for the engine side. A little life hack for you guys. And sorry, I know in the last video, shout out to you that commented and said, hey, you could use some more LED lighting. I know, guys, I always end up working at night, and this is like the darkest corner of the garage, and it just so happens to be where the C55 is sitting. So I apologize, guys. If I was working over here, the light is nice. I got the light over here and another light I can put over here, but yeah, just the way it works out, it's a little dark over here. So I might have another light I can set up in a second. But anyways, I like to use a little 3/8 hose onto the spark plugs just to thread them in and know that they're starting nice and clean. And then once I get them seated with this, pull this off, and then we'll be able to torque them down. And I got to look up the torque values again. It's been a while, so let me look them up. Probably popped them on screen for you guys earlier, but I need to look them up for myself now. All right, guys, a little bit more light. I'm trying for you guys, I promise. All right, let me get these spark plugs in here, and then we'll move on to the other side. All right, guys, spark plugs are all in and torqued down. I just did 15 foot-pounds, which is about 20 Newton meters. Book calls for between 15 to 25, depending on I don't know what. But good little in-between mark, so just 20 Newton meters felt fine. I could feel the crush washers going down, so we are good. This side is all done. I gotta spend some more time cleaning up all these boots and making them all nice, and then de-electric greasing them, and we'll finish up our driver's side tomorrow night because it's a work night. It's getting late, so I gotta come back to you guys in a little while. Catch you in about 5 seconds. All right, boys, we're back. New night. No more facial hair. Decided to shave it off. I was trying to do no shave November. It was getting too itchy. I couldn't stand it. We are back though. I'm gonna finish up this side. I'll go ahead and put the valve cover on and get our coil packs on, and then we'll get started with our second side. I don't know, actually, maybe I should just use the spark plugs real quick and then put the valve covers on. I don't know. Anyways, I'm getting into it. I'll update you guys as we go. Let's finish this up. All right, you guys, just got the coil packs all cleaned up, wiped the boots down and the inside of the boots and the plastic as well. Just got the dust off, so those look way fresh compared to before. They were caked with oil, so those are good now. I'm gonna put a little de-electric grease inside of the boots. Always do, just to make them easy to pop on, because these take a pretty firm click to get them to go. Sometimes you get lucky, they pop on easy, but sometimes they're a bit of a fight. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I like to set them off to the side. It's just easier to do them now when the valve covers are off, and then that way I'll pop them back on once the valve cover is on. So let's go ahead, put our de-electric grease on and slip these boots up. All right, guys, those are all clicked on and out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and get our gasket set up on our valve covers. Again, looking beautiful over here. And I have our Felpro gaskets. I'm gonna turn the light on over here. But Felpro gaskets, I'll be using these pretty much for the rest of my time owning M113s, because they're that good. Finally, an alternative to butane rubber. Felpro part number for you right there, VS50842R. I believe the R is for the kind of silicone based gaskets, the blue ones. I think they also make black ones, so maybe that's what it is. But anyways, let me pop these open, get it ready, and go for it. Alright, you guys, and here they are, the beautiful blue gaskets. I guess we're going for a bit of a Spider-Man theme, so I guess it'll have to do. I don't care though, they do the job. I don't care about the color of them. I think it looks pretty cool, actually. So let me get these situated with their correct valve covers and pop these in. Don't use any silicone, guys, anything like that. The only thing I do is put a tiny bit of de-electric grease on these little half moons at the back corners, just to kind of keep them sitting flush while I'm popping the valve covers on. But honestly, you can get away with using nothing. So it's just my method. You guys do your thing, but do not use any silicone on these. Every time people try to do that on these gaskets, I always see them leak. So keep them dry, maybe a little bit of de-electric grease on a half moon. So that's it for me. All right, you guys, there it is. Gasket is situated, and to show you guys for proof, if you flip these over, these gaskets stay in place nicely. So I didn't even put my de-electric grease on the corners this time. I guess I'll just go past it. We're good. Make sure your gasket surface is all clean. Wipe down any little debris you can see. Or blow it off with some air or wind power from your body. But yeah, this is good to go. Let's go ahead and get it situated on the car. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down our surface right here real quick. Just a little bit of brake clean. Make sure we go over this. Some people go crazy. I mean, it depends on the condition of the surface, but you don't really have to go too crazy as long as it's been somewhat maintained. But some people like to do all kinds of stuff, sandpaper and razor blades, this and that. Sometimes you have to. In this case, we should be good, just with a nice wipe down. Surface all looks pretty good. Should be good. Let's get our gasket. Alright, should be good, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and start zipping our bolts in, and we can move on with this side. Alright guys, and the only downfall of these beautiful silver valve covers is it makes the rest of the engine look super dirty. That's why I like the black valve covers, because then it makes the rest of the engine look a little cleaner. But especially when you got the manifold that hasn't been done yet, once that is done, it'll look good. I think I'm gonna go with the black manifold, the wrinkle black. I feel like that'll be a good little contrast. I'll do the bottom of it in Alumabrite or Alumablast, and like the sides of it, but the top shell I'm gonna do in that wrinkle black. I think it'll look cool, be a little bit of contrast with the silver, and kind of bring out the cleanliness of the rest of the motor. Plus, when this freaking thing is gone and the EGR and all that stuff, it'll clean it up. So let's get these bolts on, tighten this side down, and move on. Alright guys, got all the bolts hand tight right now, or zip tight a little bit. Remember, your 2 long bolts go the back side over here, and then your 3 other long bolts, or actually 4 of them, go on the breather cover for the driver's side. So all the rest of the bolts in. 10 Newton meters is what you want for M113s. I think M112 is 8 Newton meters. You'll probably be fine if you do 10 Newton meters. Anyways, it's only about 88 inch-pounds. I did 89 just to be easy, but anyways, that's what I'm going to do now. Torque these down, just go kind of starting from inside out and crisscross, and you should be good. Alright you guys, bolts are all torqued down to spec. Everything went nice and smooth. Just double check our back corner over here as well. Let's see, gaskets nicely seated. Perfect. So this side is good. Button up the coils and move on to the other side. Alright guys, passenger side complete. Good to go. Start working on spark plugs on the other side. Alright you guys, coil pack's out on this side. It's definitely a bit of a tighter squeeze over here, so just be prepared. You got your ABS and everything is just a little more compact on this side, so be prepared. It's not that bad, but it just takes a little getting used to. I'm going to go ahead and zip out the spark plugs on this. I'm not going to video much more, you guys, so I'm going to try to catch you guys ahead of the game once I'm getting closer to finishing up this side. Well, yep, I'm glad I'm doing spark plugs, guys. That's an NGK iridium. We got mismatched plugs on both sides. It's IFR 6010. So, don't really know what to make of that. We'll see if the rest of them are NGKs or Bosches. Somebody could have done spark plugs on one side. I have no idea. Let's see what we find, guys. What the heck? Alright, we'll say as well, this side is also way too tight. These are like taking me actual force to snap loose. Almost knuckle busting myself a few times. Way too tight on this side. Alright guys, yeah, second plug, and it's an NGK iridium again. Sorry, it won't focus. Alright, well, there it is. Second NGK iridium. No clue, guys. Maybe they had a pack of 8 of each and decided to do one side of one and the other of the other. Maybe why it's, well, not why, but one reason why it looks like it was running rich. So, yikes. Alright guys, this thing is just not good. Spark plugs wise. This has like caked up deposit, like hard deposit on that hook right there, and it's just I bet these are the originals, and somebody tried to do the other side and did the other side and maybe decided they just weren't going to even attempt the driver's side. I have no idea, but it's ridiculous, man. Nope, I don't know a thing now, guys. We're back to the Bosches. I'm on, I think, the 6 plug. Back to a Bosch. Guys, what is going on here? No. Guys, these spark plugs are probably the worst I've ever seen in any car. Like, these are bad. Like, absolutely caked on deposits. I'm sure the pistons are dirty themselves. This thing is gonna need to get a proper Italian tune-up and a good amount of fresh fuel and oil to get it all cleaned out, because this thing is just not good, guys. Not my style. Alright, you guys, that side is out, and honestly, guys, I think I'm gonna end the video here. It's the same story on this side. You guys get the point. Sorry you don't get to see both valve covers on at the same time in this video, but I'll be sure to include that in the next video. Obviously, I'm gonna get this on in my own time. It's late right now. I've been pulling late nighters the last few nights, and I'm just tired. I don't feel like continuing on. I got all the spark plugs out. They gave my knuckles a nice beating because somebody just did not treat this motor right with spark plugs, or never treated them to anything besides throwing random sets at it. I don't know what to make of that. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and the worst spark plugs I've ever seen, ever in all of my cars that I've ever had, and I've had a lot. So yeah, this thing needs some love, guys. So we got to be the ones to save it. I'm very glad it fell into my hands. It deserves it. It's a beautiful car, and we're gonna get it right, but it's taking time, and that's okay. Being cool with this one, taking my time with it, I'm totally okay with that. I'm gonna get this done, and I will most likely show you guys that finished up, and then we'll get started on the intake manifold in the next video for this thing, which who knows if I can get it done in time. Maybe for Friday's video. This is for Wednesday's video. You guys are at Wednesday right now. So we'll see. I'll see how fast I can chug away on that, but I'm gonna finish up tomorrow night. It's already late. I'm tired. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was fun. It was good. I'm very happy. I was thinking about this. I want to tell you guys this. I'm very happy that I've gained enough experience and knowledge of these engines, in particular the M113, to really be comfortable with them now. I'm telling you guys, like the first time I did spark plugs on the silver C55, I was nervous, I was sweating, I was like, am I doing this right? Like, what am I doing? Am I gonna break something? What's going on? Like, I was just so unfamiliar that I was just not in a happy place. And the whole time I was working on this right now, besides being tired, like I said, I've been in my happy place. Like, this is why Andersen is called Andersen. My last name is Anderson, but when I'm out here working on the cars, in most cases, you know, there's those days, but in most cases, it's my place of zen. Like, it's my place of peace. I love wrenching on stuff. It's just zoning out, getting into the details of the car, which I love, learning and details in general, and just wrenching. That's why it is called Andersen. So for those that didn't know, I guess you learned a tidbit of fact about why it ever became that. But that's it, guys. There she is, the beautiful Mars Red C55 that is so close to being so much better. We'll get it there. We'll get it there. We'll get it there. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy your Wednesday. Have a good rest of your week. I will catch you guys on Friday's video. Peace.